What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rob's house. I got something a little bit out of the ordinary today, but I thought it was cool enough to put on the channel because it's another one of my hobbies. As you guys know, I play guitar. Over the years, I've gotten better at sort of not like luthier style stuff, but general maintenance and a little bit of restoration type stuff, which usually just involves sort of like replacing hardware, replacing electronics, upgrading things, kind of like I do on cars, right? I have a lot of guitars, but this next project is actually not my own guitar, but it is this Jackson, the neck's over there, but is this Jackson, this was a dinky model of some sort. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it belongs to a friend of mine, and the marks on the guitar are a result of a 15-year-old trying to age his guitar and not doing a great job at it. Now, this was decades ago. This is when we were kids, and this guitar has sat in storage for honestly over a decade at this point. I believe this was his first guitar. It may have been his, he might have had some like extremely cheap guitar that he started learning on. This was the earliest guitar I remember him playing when we were kids. But anyway, the reason that this guitar wasn't basically just thrown in the trash was just because it has sentimental value to him. So honestly, this restoration project is going to cost more than the guitar's worth. This is a relatively entry-level guitar. I think at the time it was like one step up from their entry-level model. So at the time, I think it was probably maybe a $500 guitar, which 20 years later, it's worth nothing. Like I said, it's been in storage and he hasn't thrown it out, and it's been at my house actually, because he was in the process of moving a long time ago, and it was like, hey, can you just like, he gave me a few of his guitars to store for him temporarily, and when he came to get them, this one was still obviously totally beat up, and he didn't have the room for it. He only has a single bedroom apartment, so I was like, that's whatever, man. I'll just keep it in a case in my closet or something. So this guitar has been away from him for an extraordinarily long time, and he was over recently, and I was like, hey, I have your guitar, and he's, you know, still, he was like, well, I don't really have room for it. I still haven't figured out what I want to do with it yet. And I was like, all right, well, that's fine. You know, don't worry about it. Like, I have some storage room in my house, so it's not a big deal. So then I decided this would actually be a cool, like, Christmas, birthday, whatever sort of gift to him. One of my really long-time friends. I'm gonna restore this guitar for him. I randomly asked him the other day, and I don't think he has any inclination as to what I'm about to do, but I asked him what his favorite color was, because I actually didn't know that for some reason. And he sent me a picture of like his hockey sticks and his water bottle, and they were all different shades of green. And I was like, well, I know it's green, but like what shade of green? It's like, I never knew what your favorite color was. And he said OD green, like military green. So I was like, oh, dope, sounds good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually take this body over to the guys over at Colors on Parade, who have done a few things for me now and did a really good job. And I'm gonna have them paint this body a matte OD green, military style green, and then I'm gonna completely redo the guitar. As you can see, I stripped all the electronics out, all the hardware. The hardware is completely corroded. I'm replacing literally everything start to finish on this guitar. It is not gonna have a single piece of hardware. The only thing that is original basically is the wood. So, and the tuning machines actually are fine. So those can stay. But the bridge system was extremely corroded. It's a knockoff Floyd Rose made by Jackson. So it's just a licensed Floyd Rose, which is probably, I think, some kind of just Chinese copy. So I got another one of those because the cavity that's routed is slightly different from a legitimate Floyd Rose. So I actually don't know if a real Floyd will fit. So I got another knockoff one for it, but it's brand new, so it won't be corroded and stuff. I got noiseless Floyd Rose noiseless springs coming for it. We'll install those. A whole new set of electronics. I have a spare set of EMG pickups laying around that came out of one of my old guitars that I'm going to throw in this. Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna, I got new pickup rings. I got Dunlop strap locks coming for it. I got a new switch coming with the EMG wiring kit. They also make a solderless switch. I'm going to put all the new solderless system in there and everything. It's going to be tight. So I am excited, and I thought that I would show you guys what a guitar rebuild looks like. So I'm going to be rebuilding this from scratch. I'm going to get this body all painted. I got to wait for some parts to come in the mail, but when we come back, I'm going to rebuild it and give you guys a time lapse. Check it out. All right, guys, what's up? We are back. I have the guitar back from paint here, and it looks amazing. I'm so excited. Tonight, we're going to put this thing together, so check this out. So first of all, we did a matte olive drab green finish. See if I can get a good angle here with the lighting. Yeah, my boy Jay, who I'm rebuilding this for, I know this is his favorite color. I got my light set up over here for when I actually do the rebuild, so it's casting a little bit of glare on the body here, but you can kind of see the color. I'm trying to get the camera to focus. Hopefully this comes through okay on camera. But we've got a matte olive drab green finish. I will take additional video of that when we're all done. I stripped the entire body, sent it over to the guys at Colors on Parade. Shout out to Roger and Alex for hooking it up, as usual, doing a great job. They've done some work on actually all three of my cars now that I think about it. They did my stock Roush spoiler on the Mustang, cracked in half, so I bought a replacement. They painted that. They painted the mirrors, my side mirrors on my Corvette, and they also fixed my Viper hood when I sent a chunk of paint flying. I nicked it ever so slightly with the polisher while I was going over it, putting the ceramic coat down and everything, leveling it off, and I just nicked a little piece and it just sent a big chunk of paint flying, so they sanded it down, blended it. Anyway, good dudes, good work, you know, and really quick turnaround time too. I'll give them props for that. But yeah, they did this guitar. I was like, hey, can you guys do guitars? And they were like, yeah, dude, yeah, why not? Paint is paint. So they got the body all finished up, so no more scratches or anything. They used, I think he said he used some putty on it to kind of smooth it out, fill in those little scratches and cracks and stuff, primed it, OD green. Now we got a matte OD green guitar. I went ahead and put the new Floyd Rose bridge post. I kind of test fitted some stuff already. All right, let me show you what we're working with over here as far as parts. So first of all, these are all the stock parts. And as you can see, some of them were quite corroded. I don't know how well this is coming through on camera, but this was the old Floyd Rose, basically the piece that the spring's attached to that screw into the body and the back cavity, and it looks pretty bad. All the screws were kind of corroded. The springs are super old, and the bridge, I don't know how well you can see this on camera, but the bridge screws don't look awful, but they don't look great either. It's worth noting that this was about a $500 guitar, brand new. I mean, that was when I was a kid, so that's around the 2005 time frame. In today's day and age, that would be like a $700 to $800 guitar after adjusting for inflation. So like a mid-tier instrument, but still not going to get you an original Floyd Rose. So this is a licensed by Floyd Rose product, which means it was probably made in China. It's not the best quality material, and I got a replacement one here that is actually more like a Floyd Rose 1000 style. The little fine tuners on it actually kind of look like what you would see on an Ibanez. So this is probably, you know, pretty similar to like the Edge Pro or whatever Ibanez puts on theirs when they have a licensed by Floyd Rose product. Meaning it's not made by Floyd Rose, they just license the design and kind of copy it. They work fine. Like I said, the materials are a little bit different. Another deficiency with the original one here, I don't know if you can really see it on camera, whammy bar post is broken. So it still kind of works, but it's a little messed up. So obviously on the new one, that's not a problem. We also have a new whammy bar, and I will include all of the stock parts that I took off, although it was missing a lot of parts. So I'm going to include, obviously, give Jay back all the stuff that came off the guitar. I didn't have the whammy bar. All I had was really the tailpiece, one pickup. It didn't even have two pickups in it. It didn't have pickup rings or anything. The only stuff we're going to reuse for this build are going to be the output jack surround mount. So this is like what you mount the output jack into that screws into the body, where the output jack sits, and then of course the plate and screws to mount the neck. So we're going to reuse that, but everything else is new. We got a brand new Floyd Rose style bridge here. We've got, these are actually, I had some pickups laying around. I have several spare sets of pickups that came out of old guitars. So this is an 81-85 set here that I had laying around. I got a brand new solderless conversion kit so we can redo all the wiring on this guitar. We have pickup rings and pickup ring screws. These are metal pickup rings. I've used these on my white M1000 actually. They're okay. The fitment's not perfect. The thing I will have to do that you'll see me in the time lapse is when you're using a covered pickup like an EMG versus an uncovered pickup with exposed bobbins, they're not quite wide enough. I'm gonna have to take the metal file and ever so slightly shave these sides down to get the pickup to sit in there. That's not a problem. I've done that before. Easy modification. We got a brand new 3-way switch here from Music Lily. We've got Floyd Rose noiseless springs. Guys, I highly, highly, highly recommend these if you have any kind of tremolo system. It doesn't even have to be a Floyd Rose, but anything with springs in the back, get you a set of noiseless springs. It makes a huge, huge difference. You get rid of all that ringing and overtones when you're muting, especially if you play metal. If you're playing high gain stuff, that's super important. So we got him that. We got him some rechargeable 9-volt batteries. We also have here an extra 9-volt battery clip because I'm going to do the 18-volt mod on this guitar, so it'll actually be running 18 volts instead of 9 volts. So we'll have 2 batteries in there, and he'll have 2 spares that he can keep charged up, so whenever it comes time to replace batteries, he can just swap them right out, no problem, and then throw the old ones back on the charger. 18-volt mod, for those of you who don't know, very, very quickly, with EMG pickups, they have an onboard preamp in the pickup that require a 9-volt power supply minimum, but they can run at up to 24 volts. When you give them an 18-volt power supply, basically you're guaranteed that you get more consistent power than a single 9-volt. You're not going to have any surges or dips. It basically equates to more headroom in the pickup. So a lot of times people complain about active pickups, especially EMGs, sounding compressed. The 18-volt mod helps them feel a little bit less compressed. So I'm a big fan of it. I've done it in all my guitars actually that have EMGs. So you guys have already heard me record songs, and you probably didn't know that all those guitars had 18-volt mod, but all those guitars have 18-volt mod. It's super simple to do. You just basically wire both batteries in series, and then you run 2 batteries instead of 1. No big deal. So I have an assortment of guitar screws here, just in case I'm missing anything. And then of course I have some basic tools. So I have a screwdriver. This is just an electric screwdriver. I have wire cutters, a wire stripper to strip some of the wiring, because we're gonna have to wire the switch and we're gonna have to wire the 18-volt mod in. Everything else is solderless. Pliers in case I need them, needle-nose pliers. This is a metal file for modifying the pickup rings. And then I have just a socket driver with a couple of sockets. I'm not sure, I don't remember what socket size is used for the for like the potentiometers and stuff, but that's just a regular socket, so we'll use that to lock those in. And we're gonna do a full rebuild. We're gonna, all the hardware on this guitar is going to be brand new, except for the tuning machines. The tuning machines actually look fine on this guitar, so we're gonna leave those be. And yeah, like I said, the only stuff we're gonna reuse are like the screws to mount the neck and the output jacks around. Everything else is gonna be brand new. Switch is brand new, potentiometers are gonna be brand new, pickups brand new, pickup rings didn't even have pickup rings. The reason I like using these, even though I have to modify them, is that they're metal. So they're not gonna crack over time. Plastic ones always inevitably crack. They're just not super sturdy, versus obviously a proper metal ring will not distort over time and crack. So I like using those, just personal preference. They're like $1 more, so why not? They came with new screws too. A lot of the stuff comes with new hardware, so I'm gonna place all the hardware. Maintenance items we're gonna have to do. These frets have seen better days. They desperately need a polish, so I'm definitely gonna polish those up. Oil the board, because the guitar hasn't been played in years, so I'm sure the board's kind of dry. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a microfiber towel. I know it looks dirty. It's not. I just washed it. It's just discolored. This is one of the towels that I used to dry my cars down with. And it is microfiber. It's safe. It will not scratch this brand new paint job that we have. And it's also worth noting, you cannot polish a matte finish. Don't ever use guitar polish on a matte finish. It's going to shine it up and basically make it look a lot more glossy, which does happen over time. From the points like where your hand makes contact, like down here and stuff, that will happen over time. But obviously we don't want to gloss up the entire body. So I'm going to try not to scratch it. I'm not going to use any polish on it, because I don't want to ruin this paint. Yeah, and we're gonna do a full rebuild today. You guys are gonna see what that looks like. So I'm gonna get the time lapse started and enjoy this build. Check it out, guys. We're all done. Have a gander. My room is kind of a mess here because I still have everything out. I think it came out awesome. The only bummer here is that I think Jay is going to need a fret leveling. I don't know if fret 24 is lifting or if it's just high on the high E side, but have the action set kind of high, and it's still frets 20 through 24 on the high E side are still all making the same tone. I did a full setup on this guitar. It now has the perfect truss rod setup, slight forward bow, just like I set up on my guitars. I just did sound testing, you know, floating the bridge. I put new strings on it, stretched the strings, refloated it and everything. It's stable in drop C now. 10 to 52 gauge strings. Oiled the board. Board really, it looks like a different color now. It looked pretty dull before, and you can see a lot of the color came back to it. Surprisingly, I guess because it's rosewood, it didn't crack really at all. I personally don't really like rosewood. I don't really like how it feels, but I will say it is resilient. Let me know what you guys think. Give you the backside view. Jay did not have a cavity cover on this guitar. I think that has been long lost a decade ago or so, so that's really the only missing component here. But honestly, I know he likes to leave that off anyway, because if you're changing tunings on a Floyd, you know, you need access to that. And on other guitars, like my Strandberg, doesn't even come with a cavity cover. Like they're just open in the back with the springs. So a lot of people run it like that. But yeah, I think honestly, once he gets that fret leveling taken care of, this thing's gonna play like a dream again. That's the only issue I really noticed. She's ready to go. I'll get you guys some playing clips tomorrow. It's super late right now, so I'm gonna hit the hay, but then I'll get you guys some playing clips, and then we'll sign off for this video. Guys, she's finally all done. Sorry for the poor lighting. I had to make a couple of adjustments. Put the strap locks on, got a matching olive green strap. I deleted the well, it originally had a volume and a tone, and now I just have a master volume in place of the tone, and I blocked off. I used a little silicone plug to plug up where the volume knob was. That was just getting in my way while playing, and I know Jay's not gonna like that. That placement is really poor on this particular body style. I don't know if Jackson's changed that in the last like 15 years, because this guitar is kind of old, but if you look at my ESPs, it's kind of hard to see on the ESP, but the knob is like not quite as far up. It's a little bit more out of the way. But in general, I prefer kind of like my Skirvison, where there's nothing kind of right next to here, right next to the bridge pickup, so that when you're muting and playing solos and stuff, you don't accidentally hit your volume knob. So I went ahead and did that for Jay. Obviously the EMG solderless system makes it really easy. I just unplug the tone knob and plug the output jack directly into the volume knob instead. So it took me about 5 minutes to make that change. I did have to do some major modifications on the fretboard. The frets needed to be leveled pretty desperately. I learned how to do that. I had never done that before. Came out pretty good. I bought a fret leveling set from the guys at Fret Guru. The 24th fret in particular was really high. The high side of the 24th fret, basically the top 3 strings from frets 20 to 24 were all making the same sound, and they were making the 24th fret sound. So I deduced that the 24th fret must have been extremely high. So I actually had to sand that one down manually, and then of course recrown it just like I did with all the other ones. Went back over them with 400 grit, then 800 grit, then 1000 grit sandpaper, and then after crowning them, and then finished it off with some 4/0 steel wool to give them a nice polish, so the frets look mint. They look brand new. And yeah, that's it. And now there's only one thing left to do. We got to go give this guitar to Jay. It's in here.
What is this? This is my old case.
It is your old case. Okay.
Just look inside.
What the? Hold on. What?
Recognize it?
Yeah. This is the DXMG.
Yes.
You repainted it though.
More than that, yeah.
Guess what, Dad? You just destroyed that one. You smashed it. And
Yeah. You're right.
He did destroy it when we were kids.
Wait, so what is that? Just a dead pot?
That's a plug.
Plug. Like just to.
There's no pot. It's just rubber. It's just to plug the hole.
Yeah. So it's one
So
volume.
guess what, Dad?
This is dope.
Dad,
How'd you do this?
What do you mean?
Like this is the same one.
Yes.
Didn't I like break it?
Oh, it was messed up. All the I replaced all the hardware.
No,
Everything's
I
new.
thought I like broke it.
No, you just scratched it really, really bad everywhere. The paint was absolutely trash.
And it's a 81, 85.
Yeah, just what I had laying
Which
around.
is fine.
Yeah, I had extra ones laying around.
This is awesome, man. Wow, I thought this was and this.
Well, guys, I don't know about you, but I call that a success. Jay, enjoy your guitar, man. Like I said, I couldn't let it go to waste. It was just sitting here for however long, and I don't know, I just got sick of looking at it all broken up and stuff, especially since I know, you got a lot of memories with that thing. That thing's been with you for a long time. So anyway, I'm glad I could get it back in tip-top shape, playing nice for you, looking good with a new fresh finish on it. Here's to many more years of shredding, man. Everyone else, hope this was a cool change up from my usual content. I do a lot of music stuff. I also do guitar techie stuff sometimes. So I figured I'd throw it up on here, see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments, what you guys think of that build. Do you want to see more content like that? Or was it boring? Are you not into it? Either way, let me know. As usual, hope this video is entertaining, and I'll see you guys next time.